has been a big challenge for him after switching from the Yamaha squad last year.
Certainly secondary to the Riders World Championship fight, the manufacturers' standings. Yamaha 574 points, Ducati 558 points, Kawasaki 520 points. It does go to show.
But we've seen all three manufacturers very closely matched through the course of this season. Bit of misfortune for all of the different riders and those manufacturers through the course of this year, but on the balance of things, the way the championships have played out with Top Rank, Jonathan Rea and Scott Redding as the top three riders, and the manufacturers championship as well, it has been about right for what we've seen through the course of this season.
Yes, Kawasaki lost ground mainly as a result, to be honest, of Alex Lowe's being injured, and then when Jonathan Rea had incidents, there was no one there to sort of pick up the pieces, and Kawasaki's run of consecutive scoring that dated back years went out the window. And once you lose major points, the manufacturer's title, unlike the team's award, where it is the top two performing riders from each team that score in that contest. But the World Championships, the Riders World Championship and the Manufacturers World Championship are coming down to this final round. And at the moment, the water is coming up to your ankles.
Yeah, and that gives you the perfect illustration of just how much standing water there is. That's probably on the outside of maybe the last corner, because there is a few marshals out there just wandering around. But as it is right now, it's definitely a little bit of time to get yourself cooled off at this stage for some of the super sport riders.
Well, every reason to enjoy himself, Mr. Dominic Egerton, the 2021 world champion. And why bother going back to the hotel? You're probably not going to be able to get back there anyway in these conditions when you can just swell. But this looks to me like a mere formality. I cannot see how the track will be in conditions to be able to race this afternoon at all. These, of course, are replay images. We've long since vacated the grid. Umbrellas wouldn't even withstand it. The palm trees could barely withstand the wind, let alone the rain, and it is still coming down very heavily. And all that's happening is that the water's getting deeper and deeper. And I joked about an Olympic depth swimming pool, but we're up to his ankles.
Yeah, and it is just keeping to come down at the same degree as well. You can see from these shots just how wet it is out there, and we saw when the safety car was doing its lap just how little visibility there was, especially in that run down towards turn 10. So no real chance of any change in the next while, but certainly for the superbike riders, they're going to just have to come together. They could well be able to talk, as the safety commission traditionally we see three riders from additions to this. Obviously Sepang, we've had similar situations as well.
Well, I know who might be the only rider who wants to make sure that something happens this afternoon, and that'll be Jonathan Rea, because if the Super Pole race is cancelled, he's going to lose potentially 12 points there.
Well, I remember at Assen when we had the snowstorm a few years ago in 2019, Johnny was one of the few riders that was out there saying, oh, we should be able to race in these conditions. Even with the snow, he knew it was a chance to make up points in Alvaro Bautista that year. He wanted to go out and race, and obviously in conditions like this, he's the rider with most to lose. If he misses out on a scoring opportunity this weekend, it could be curtains for his championship.
Let's be honest, if the race had already got started before that rain came down, it would have practically immediately been red flagged.
Everyone wants to see three races this weekend. The championship battle we've had all the way through this season has been tremendous. You can see for
doesn't stop us from offering some, though, does it? It might be above our pay grade, but it won't stop us from passing comment, as Toprak Razgatlioglu gives a little bit of an extra dousing to Jules Cluzel. Well, I said previously I wanted to know where Cluzel had managed to get to. The number 16 sit away, if nothing else. And he and Dominic Egerton are yeah, all going on at the moment out there, and I just cannot see how we could possibly be racing in this situation. Watching Scott Redding at the moment as he watches on his final weekend, of course, with Ducati before he moves to BMW.
Well, and certainly he's been able to make a lot of progress with that bike over the course of this season.
He has indeed. 21 laps we were expecting this afternoon at the Mandalika International Circuit. We wait for further news as to what might be happening here. Just discussions between fellow Ducati riders and former teammates as well, Scott Redding and Chaz Davies. See if we can listen in. Yeah, just talking about tyres there.
Yeah, we saw Scott leave the pits. He was out on slick tyres to get to the grid, and that definitely would have been a hairy ride for him as he made his way back around. And he was just saying that to Chaz Day, there's been coming from. So that is the challenge, and you can see there for Jonathan Ray just giving Jake his son there a little bit of good luck for his football match later.
Pretty much the current answer.
And you can see there Sarah from Yamaha. That must be of the duck at this stage, making its way down pit lane.
I really hope it is. Tati Mercado, we saw.
They're in no rush to be out on track. They know exactly what the conditions are like, teams as well. So as it is right now, it's definitely a little bit of a wait for everyone until we're able to find exactly what the schedule is going to be and whether or not we'll be able to get racing today.
Close fought and tight World Championship scenario as well. Toprak Razgatlioglu versus Jonathan Ray. 30 points in it ahead of this weekend, the season finale. And, of course, also the Manufacturers World Championship up for grabs. We signing off from the Mandalika International Circuit in a few minutes' time. And then we will wait to hear whether there is any good news to come later on this afternoon. But certainly, on the evidence of what we're seeing at present, it could well be a goodbye for now.
Yeah, you can see Jonathan Ray's gotten back into his civvies now at this stage, and he's not going to be the only rider making that change. As you said, Alex, by 50 minutes' time, that's when we'll get an update on what to do with the schedule. So for everyone else, they just need to try and keep themselves calm at this stage and just see what happens at the top of the hour.
Fun and frolics has been the story of this afternoon. A planned race one from the 2021 Pirelli Indonesian round. But we'll have to wait and see when we can finally get underway with the